my mom would be like, found your tape. I was like, what tape? You know, in
It
my
wasn't
head.
my tape.
That was not mine.
I didn't make that.
What do you think I was involved?
You're a champion.
Little Sebastian. Miss you in the satisfaction.
Jesse and I, we talk pretty open about it because I feel that the one person you should be able to bare your soul to
Yeah.
and not be criticized, even if it has to do with the relationship between,
Yeah.
should be your wife
Yeah.
or your spouse. Like Jesse's told me before, and I never have questioned anything about her.
Right.
Never even hinted at it. I just think she's being sweet.
Yeah.
But she said that she would have not inappropriate thoughts, but like maybe flirting a little bit at the office or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, not out of to flirt, but just
No, I know.
joking around. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know
not
what you
meaning
mean.
anything, but
Yeah.
just an innocent joking around.
Yeah.
Which in itself is, I guess, technically flirting. I mean, it is, but you're not.
Yeah.
It's not a sexual flirting.
Right. Right. No, I get you.
I've seen it. It was a TV show. They were making fun of it, or maybe even a movie. They labeled it as keeping your tools sharp for your spouse. So I've never heard it put that way, but that's that to me is a justification. That I don't like that. That
Yeah.
that can really get
Yeah.
in deep trouble.
Because it's
quick.
like, how sharp do I need to be?
Yeah,
Yeah.
And
What else do I need to sharpen up?
yeah. And I tell her too, because especially in summertime, women will
Clothes
show their
get
bodies.
shorter.
Yeah.
They just like, oh, we don't have to wear as much.
We were up the street here, and this guy, he's 18. He's going into the Navy, I think. I don't know if he listens to the podcast, but he was with this girl that lives up the street. That her this wood out here, her dad sold me that wood.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
she,
yeah.
And
You
she,
were telling me about
I'd never seen her before, but she's a very attractive young lady.
Yeah.
And we were standing out there talking. He was telling us about, because we were walking through the neighborhood, and he saw us, and he had texted me, and I was actually on another podcast on Faith to Failure. I was like, I can't right now. I was trying to pay attention. This guy was talking about his uncle like fondling him or something, and I'm like, I'm busy. I'm sorry.
I can't talk about things.
I'm paying attention. And he said they weren't dating or anything, but he's always over there,
Yeah.
whatever they're doing. And she turned around to walk inside, and her butt cheeks are hanging out. And I'm like, yeah, so the Navy, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Lots of guys there.
Lots of semen?
Lots of semen.
So it annoys the crap out of me. And so I'm very real with my wife about it. And she promises me that she will not get upset with me.
Yeah.
Because she understands.
Yeah. Oof.
And she feels like she can't hold on to that posture coming at me when she feels that she's done something similar.
Yeah.
You know, you see somebody attractive,
Yeah.
It's the look again, which
Yeah.
I've told my wife I have trouble with it.
Yeah.
Because if something looks good, my neck will break. And I'm like, and I get mad at myself.
Yeah,
Like as soon as I do it, I'm like, what the heck are you doing? Stop.
Yeah.
Like I get so mad at myself.
Yeah.
And I just, I don't know why
Yeah.
I do it. I hate that I do it.
Yeah. No, I know.
And I don't think blaming me being a man
The struggle is real.
is right. I don't think me to justify it.
No, I don't think it's so much that. I mean, I would say just numbers wise, I think it is that much harder just for men, just because and I don't know if it's necessarily just because like of our culture or upbringing. It's not necessarily like upbringing. It's not like I was never taught by my dad like, hey, check out the gams on that trollop, you know?
Yeah.
It was never any of that, but it was never like taught to me to, you know, like, hey, this is how you need to view women, and this is how you respect them and you show them respect. It was just, you know, there was just nothing of that. It was never like, this is how you degrade women. You know, my dad wasn't like a womanizer or anything. But I mean, I was allowed to watch whatever on TV, you know, and even, and not everything. I mean, if there was like nudity or just, you know, more adult content or whatever, then we're like, no, you can't watch this. So I wasn't allowed to watch everything, but I was allowed to stay up all hours of the night,
which is when the bad shows come on.
If they're asleep, then I'm just gonna be like,
how do I record on this?
I gotta be like, okay, I got my last, you know, because you had like the last channel, so you could just be like, push that button. It's like, oh, Nick at Night, yeah.
Oh, that's
I
what
love
I was
Lucy.
watching. I
sure do.
Oh, Dick Van Dyke, you did it again.
You know? So you just hit that one or whatever. But I know I got caught one time so bad. It was so bad. I was so like embarrassed. I was just like, oh no, like, because apparently I don't know how I don't know how I got a hold of this like VHS porn, but somehow I don't remember how I even got this, but and that was when my parents were like working nights or whatever, and so when they came home I was already asleep, but I left it like in the VCR player or something.
Rookie mistake.
Oh, definitely. But I guess I was just like, whatever. I'm going to bed. So I was just like, I was done. So I was like, I'm going to bed. Didn't even think about it. 8 times is too much.
So maybe that's part of the problems right now. I'm done.
So I just remember, like the next day, my mom was like, found your tape. I was like, what tape? You know, in my
it wasn't
head.
my tape.
That was not mine.
I didn't make that.
What do you think I was involved? Who do you think I know?
Mom, how dare you?
If so you're saying if I knew those people that I wouldn't be there right now? What makes you think that? Why would I still be here?
You're not making sense, Mom.
This is ridiculous. So I just remember, oh gosh, it was so embarrassing.
Yeah.
Found your tape. Pretty hardcore stuff. And it's not like it was like hardcore, like weird or anything, but it was porn.
Did
so
you
it's
say
not,
like,
real.
no, it wasn't, Mom?
You ain't seen nothing.
Step it up, Dad.
So, that was like embarrassing, but yeah, man, I think that's always that's something that has definitely ever since being just a teenager and even I can even remember like before then being like a kid, and my dad, he had like they were like adult like Mexican comics or whatever.
Yeah.
And I couldn't read them or anything, but I just remember like the women in there, they were all like in bikinis or whatever.
Yeah, it's always
they had,
very
like,
graphic.
big old
Yeah.
breasts or something like that. And
That's
I would
not real.
Be sneaking to the bathroom and be like, "Ooh, look at these," you know, and it weren't real.
I
They were
love
just
comic
like-
books.
they were just, yeah, woo, can I get some comics, Dad? And I don't even know where he got them or any of that, but until I got like older, that was the only thing that I saw that was like pornographic, like in the house.
Yeah.
So it's not like my dad like kept movies or magazines or anything, but you know, he's not going to change the channel or anything if a woman walks by, you know, with her top off or anything, or if there's women like in bikinis or anything like that. He's just gonna be like, I'm just watching TV.
Oh, man.
I'm gonna look at them, you know.
All right, Gary. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Bearded Cactus. I'm
Welcome.
Steven.
And I'm Julian, the Crusher.
Today I'm wearing merch.
I'm gonna try. Oh yeah!
Boom!
Boom!
Check out thebeardedcactus.com to get your merch. We even have banana yellow fanny packs.
That's what I'm talking about. I got merch too, but it's not Bearded Cactus merch.
Yeah. beardedcactus.com. Facebook, The Bearded Cactus. YouTube, if you're watching right now, make sure to like, subscribe, and you can share our videos.
Comment below.
Comment as well.
Send them about.
If you have questions or you think of something during the podcast, you can use hashtag The Bearded Cactus and write your questions, and we will be able to answer them. And actually, we can use them for podcast episodes.
Yeah,
so if you have something you want discussed, we'll talk it.
Yeah, we'll talk it. We'll talk it like we walk it.
with our mouths.
Yeah, that way we can do like a Q&A episode. That would be pretty cool.
We maybe one time go live. That would be pretty cool.
That'd be good. Get enough followers, get enough hype built up on that. Need a hype man. Need to hire a hype man.
Your wife shared the Bearded Cactus one time.
Yeah.
And we got like 30 followers extra.
Yep. So,
if she does that about 20 more times,
if you do your part, then we can help this podcast blow up. Blow up. Blaze.
and if you don't know if you're lazy and you don't want to search in YouTube, like I know you do all day, every day, I'll put a link in the description below to where if you are listening, you can just scroll down and click it. Also, I love to say also,
you can click the support.
As well, support the channel. You can do a $1, $5 donation. You can do it one time or make it monthly.
If one of you out there wants to do a one-time donation of $30 million.
Just one time.
All we needed is just once. Then we can continue to do this podcast.
For the next year.
Now, that's going to help. That's going to help with the jacuzzi, with the Olympic-sized swimming pool that we want to have put in.
Check.
The
covered.
Yeah.
We're not Aborigines here. You got to have it covered up.
Yeah. So
with air conditioning.
We're going to have it covered and heated.
In the wintertime.
So we're going to
for the 1 month that it gets cold here.
A chandelier for lighting. So we've got some better lighting going on.
Lightings.
I need. It's I have a doctor's note. All right.
Yep. No mask.
A crystal glass with diamond encrusted rubies and diamond encrusted rubies.
Yeah.
So I want
diamonds on your rubies.
Diamonds on my rubies.
Boom.
With some emeralds and that's all I want on the cup.
I want that crystal skull they have on that new Indiana Jones movie, the stupid one with the alien stuff.
The alien skull.
I want it, but I wanted a coffee mug.
Okay.
Where I can see everything
in it.
Big
mug.
I'm a heavy drinker.
That's a big mug. You have to double hand that one.
So today we're going to be talking about a very serious topic. Which happens every third or fourth episode.
So it happens.
We're still going to talk a lot about, or we're going to be funny, but
yeah, we are.
The
wouldn't bring the lights down.
Let's bring the lights down. I wish I had a dimmer. I'd bring them down with my little thumb.
We just pretend in your own. And if you're at home and you've got a dimmer switch, just bring the lights down low right now. Slide on a little Kenny G.
You girl.
Light you a couple candles.
5,000 candles in the wind. Little Parks and Recreation too.
Kenny Loggins. Oh yeah, that's right.
Or is it 10,000? Whatever he did.
It's a
10,000 candles in the wind. Champion,
little Sebastian. Miss you in the satisfaction.
Yeah,
it's a pretty catchy song though. I like it.
I wish they would have played more of it because it maybe 30 seconds and it was done. When they kicked away and the curtain came back, the drums were there and all this stuff.
Little Sebastian.
Then the dude, what's his name? Saperstein. Hope you brought. What did he say? Well, yeah, the Indian guy's friend.
Oh,
his last name is Saperstein. I don't know why I can remember that.
John
Ralphio.
John Ralphio. Yeah.
He was like, I hope you brought your handkerchiefs because you're about to pee tears. And then that black girl was like, you nasty. Her real name is actually one word. I think it's like Retta or something like that. Or Rita.
Yeah, I've seen that. I was like, who's Retta?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's her.
That's Retta.
So this is not what we're talking about today.
No. All right.
In honor of my wife, we're going to go ahead and get into our topic.
Oh, yeah. Since we don't get into it fast enough. Whatever.
If you want to save money on clothes, check out episode 20. There's a 20% off discount code at the very end of the show. You have to listen to all of it or fast forward. Whatever.
20.
I'll give you a hint. The discount code is Cactus 20.
in the year 2020,
So just
on the 20th episode, you can save 20% on 20 T-shirts.
Put it in wherever and see if it works. Put Amazon, Cactus 20.
Cactus
dang
20.
it.
Oh, good luck.
Good luck trying to find out what store it is.
Find the right one. So what we're going to talk about, because this is serious. It definitely is. And I think as men, we struggle with this a lot more. And if you haven't guessed, it's probably going to be sexual immorality, something like that. Whatever it is,
Sleeping with skanks.
Sleeping with planks.
Planks.
Sleeping with planks.
And how come it's always the girls who get the bad rep and the men don't? You ever notice that?
Yeah. Women get called whores, but we get called players.
Yeah.
we get high fives.
Or is it just because we like video games?
Maybe.
I
think that's what it is. Good job, players.
You guys keep on pushing buttons.
Now, it's definitely men can be whores
That wasn't
too.
an innuendo.
Men can be whores too. I definitely.
That's why they have the phrase man
I'm
whore.
a believer in that for sure.
Believer.
No man believer if I
Man
try.
whores.
We gotta get back on the track.
Sorry.
We're rearing.
We
Okay.
got coffee everywhere.
Now, I know that as men, I think we are. I know, just speaking for myself, but I think I can speak for a lot of men that we are more visual.
Yeah.
And, we see stuff and we're like, oh, yeah, I want that, or it just either entices us more just from a visual aid.
Which I think is a big part of the problem.
Yeah.
Is that's how we respond or react to things, by what we see.
Right.
And so, which is a big reason why, I feel a big reason why guys cheat. The women, they cheat because they find someone who listens to them. You know, they've been married for a while. The husband doesn't listen to them anymore because they're always, bah, 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 bah. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
I've heard this before.
And then they, so the women, when they get stressed, they gain weight. Or they don't watch what they eat anymore. They end up gaining weight. So then they're self-conscious about their body. So when they find somebody else who listens and appreciates who they are, instead of necessarily complaining about what they're not doing or what they look like or they're not working out. And then guys, the opposite way, then you start looking for somebody who is new, that's more appealing, that is more attractive, that actually, you see someone trying and you're like, oh, I like that.
Wait a minute. You can stay in shape? What? Huh? That don't make any sense.
You've had 3 kids?
You had how many kids and you're in shape?
Yeah. My wife doesn't do that. And see, we start comparing.
That's excuses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We start comparing, and then we're like, oh, well, why doesn't my wife try?
Right.
Or why doesn't my husband try? Why doesn't my husband listen?
Yeah.
This guy, I've known for a month, and he listens to everything I say. So there starts being this confidence in each other and a comfortable zone that ends up leading to compromise.
Yeah. Well, there's also
that'll preach.
That newness. Now, so there's relationships move, I think, into two categories. Like, so at the beginning, it's all like passion,
chemistry.
It's a lot of passionate. You're getting to know somebody. They're very interesting. Like, oh, I've never met somebody like you. Oh, we like the same stuff.
Kissing girls like you eat Pop-Tarts.
That's nice.
Sorry, that's one thing I remember from that episode. I kissed her like I eat Pop-Tarts. This is delicious. That's how I kiss.
That's how I kiss. But so there's that newness and everything's like exciting because it's like, oh, and I think at the beginning a lot of people, you try and put on like your best thing.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh yeah,
this is who I am.
This is always who I am. I
always walk around like this.
Always walking around like this. I ain't ever gonna be out of shape. Heck no. I got all the time to be working out and do everything and all this stuff, and I got all the time to just pay just attention to you because that's all I'm focused on right now.
And another thing that fuels the fire of passion and chemistry is secret. So then it becomes something that you're having to hide, and it's thrilling, and it's like that's another aspect.
I ain't gonna let you know exactly everything that's going on in my life.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna tell everything like it is. I'm gonna wait because I think I think it's a good thing. I mean, you definitely don't want to be at the first date. So like, hi, how you doing? My name's Jerry, and
I have AIDS.
I have AIDS. Take it or leave it.
Oh,
Do you still want that egg sandwich?
because I'm taking it. Ziploc bag. Yeah. I'm taking it home.
I'm gonna take it. I knew this was gonna happen. I prepared. That's why I suggested the number 2. You hate the number 2. I love the number 2. So I'm taking that home with me.
But yeah, the sneaking around, meeting up at hotels when you're cheating is like very.
It's like a thrill.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, because I got caught up in that before. John Mark can tell you the story. He thought it was hilarious.
I was there. Well, I wasn't there,
You
but
wasn't there.
I know the story.
I got punched in the
I
face.
was around in that time.
That was another. Oh, I forgot about that scar the last episode. Up here when I got punched in the face.
Yeah, that's right. Another punch in the face.
Yeah. My face just takes a beating and keeps on ticking.
Still a looker.
Yeah. This is how I make my money. But I didn't even, at that point in time, did not cheat with that woman. But there was a connection. Like, we never did anything sexual.
Okay.
But there was that connection that I was giving her what she didn't get from him.
Right. Yeah.
Like listening to her and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So, and my wife's probably going to turn this episode off because she don't want to hear anything about it. But we're not talking about cheating, but it's a part of the sexual stuff.
Right.
Like men, we lust.
Yeah.
And there's a reason Jesus said to capture your thoughts.
Oh yeah.
Because if you let it go beyond here and you don't, snuff it out there.
Yeah.
And you don't cut the head of it off there.
Sure.
Then you'll end up acting it out, or end up, watching and looking. I struggle, and I tell Jesse this because I'm like just divulging a little bit of our personal information. I feel like it's okay sometimes.
Social security number 223-994.
You probably gave someone. So, is that a phone number?
I don't know.
But
I'm
like,
just throwing out numbers.
I have cried in her arms before.
Yeah.
Because
She got some big arms.
Yeah, she does. And she's so small, but I love when she holds me. I feel like everything's at peace when I'm in her arms. It's so stupid. I know. Shut up.
So sweet.
Shut up. And the whole confessing to her and letting her know how much I struggle has made our relationship stronger because if you keep something, what I found in my first marriage, I fouled up the first one.
Right.
Okay. She did things wrong. I did things wrong.
Yeah.
We both were equally wrong. I cheated in that relationship.
Yeah.
I went completely, but what I did was I started keeping things secret or not talking to her about things, and they ended up being secrets.
Right.
And so that ended up being then other relationships I had outside of the confines of marriage.
Yeah.
And then she did the exact same thing.
Well, not trying to justify anything at all. Would you consider that marriage a marriage where you could have been able to talk to her about any of that and she would have understood, and y'all would have been able to work through that to try and prevent something like that? Or
In the middle of it, I couldn't tell you, but after I can.
right.
So I don't know if in the middle of it I could have said anything, but I know this, that I found out later that she had been cheating on me the whole time.
Okay.
Not the whole time.
Right.
But I was going out. We talked about this before about my club lifestyle.
Yeah.
I go out, I get drinks free, have fun with, and never do anything wrong, but just have a blast and try to get her to go with me, and she wouldn't do it.
Right.
And so then that put a separation. That was my fault. That was on me.
Right.
I don't know what her reason was for not wanting to go out, but I was doing it way too often and way too much without her. It wasn't like I was going like, hey, I'm going to go out with the boys this week or something, this Friday night or Saturday or whatever.
Yeah.
It was it felt like almost everyday thing.
Right.
So she found someone to confide in that was her boss, and that's who she would end up fooling around with and doing things.
Okay.
The reason I don't think, or after being out of that situation and looking back, the reason I know that I can't say I didn't do it. What I very strongly feel that I could not have talked to her about it because after she confessed to me that she had done stuff with another man.
Yeah.
And then I confessed to her after she had, left and stuff. I said, okay, I did too. Not with the man, a woman. Let's just clarify. Let's keep this.
Hey, not judging
Let's
here,
keep this
bro.
accurate.
Not judging here, bro.
After that, she would not give me any more chance because she said she couldn't look at me.
Right.
It is a double standard.
Yeah.
So I feel that if I would have said anything, it would have ended up the same either way.
I got you.
Because for some reason it was okay for her to, but it wasn't okay for me to.
Right.
And so in this marriage, I've made sure that I am bare before her
Right.
to make sure that there's nothing hidden. Like the simple thing yesterday, the day before, maybe the day before. I call her a coworker. She's a fellow photographer here in Palestine, or in Tyler.
Yeah.
She shoots real estate with me. I trained her. I showed her how to do it. And she also listens to the podcast. She says we're hilarious, by the way.
Cool. Thanks, Clarissa.
She's like, I gotta catch up. I was like, well, get on it. Okay, it's a new week. We went out to lunch. We had a meeting with a group of real estate agents, a whole agency.
Mm.
Kind of give them the pitch and give them flyers and tell them about us. The owner's wife already uses us, and somebody else there has too. So we're just kind of went there and presented to all of them and just kind of showed them what we did. And we had lunch together. She's an attractive older. She's not old. I don't know if she's in her 40s yet. She may be. I think she has a kid that's 6-7 years younger than me. Maybe
She's just older than us.
yeah, but she's
She's
attractive.
not old. I got you.
Even if she wasn't attractive,
Yeah.
I still would tell my wife about it.
Yeah.
And I told her, I didn't tell her at the time because she was at work and she wasn't going to get the message anyways. I didn't want to stress her out at work.
Right.
But we were sitting at the table and I was like, hey, just want to let you know, I ate lunch with I guess I can say her name. This lady, Kubel.
Kick Rabra.
And she was like, okay. But I maybe do it to a fault,
Oh yeah.
but I would rather it be to a fault
Right.
than mess everything up because I just didn't divulge some information that
Right.
maybe wasn't important to me, but
Yeah,
it was everything to her.
Yeah.
Like, how can I know that? I can't
Yeah.
know that. So what I do is I just bare my soul and just let her know and make sure that everything is out in the open and in the light
Right.
and there's no confusion because then this is how the devil does with shame and with our sin is that if we try to keep it hidden, then that gives the other person or the devil ammo
Right.
to shoot,
Okay.
to wound us.
Yeah.
Well, if we bare our soul and we are out in the open, then there's nothing for them to use.
Yeah.
There's
Like,
nothing my wife can get
Here's
upset
everything.
about.
Here's everything I did, or not necessarily wrong, but here's everything that happened or went on.
Yeah.
So I mean, the story can't get twisted, and there can't be like doubt or anything creeping up in the mind.
Yeah.
Like, well, why did they keep this part?
Because if you
from
give
me?
that little bitty inch of doubt, it will
Yeah.
lead to a mile of danger down
yeah.
the road because and it may have been nothing,
Right.
but it will create more problems because you just wasn't open in the beginning.
Right.
And that saves a lot of trouble when you take away any chance of doubt, any chance of questioning.
Yeah,
then
yeah.
there's zero chance for anything to fester or to be hidden because if you have stuff hidden that you're not telling them and they suspect and it's not really anything to you, but maybe it is to them, maybe not the actual thing itself, but that you're hiding something.
Right.
Then
Yeah.
that festers in them, and now they have animosity towards you, and you're having fights that you don't even know what the reason is, and it's because maybe you didn't say something, or you said it a week later instead of when it happened,
Right.
or they
you
see
kept
something.
like this small detail out, and it's like, well, if they would keep that small thing out,
Yeah, what else are they hiding?
you know what? Maybe they're hiding something big.
Yeah.
I get you.
And so that's open communication. Dealing with lust is key in a marriage
Yeah.
because if you don't open up about that, for one, you don't have someone else on your side.
Yeah.
You don't have someone else there to pray with you. She has prayed and held me when I cried in her arms because I would mess up, or it's called edging is what I heard someone say. And it's where you're not watching porn, but you're watching something close enough to where it gets your motor going in that direction.
I got you.
And then you end up lusting
Yeah.
and fulfilling that lust
Yeah.
that does not involve your wife.
Right.
I have had to, in my head, tell myself and drill it into my head because the old Steven would always drill things into my head and convince myself that I was okay
Yeah.
because I'm not sinning or I'm not cheating. But I'm
Yeah.
having to tell myself in my head that it is
Yeah.
because if I don't, then I will let something that should never be a part of my alone time
Yeah.
to rule my alone time.
Right.
And
That's true.
those images, videos, whatever I look at, I don't know about anybody else, but they pop up in my head at the weirdest times. Last time I watched porn was maybe a year ago. And since that last time, I can still see the images in my head,
Yeah.
like the videos.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's so accessible.
Oh.
And so it's free. You don't have to download it. There's
Yeah.
no viruses. There's no risk anymore.
Yeah.
There literally is no risk. You
Yeah.
can go incognito on Google and search
Yeah.
whatever you want.
Yeah.
You can
It's crazy.
You can now on YouTube, you have to. I don't know what there is on YouTube, but you can't go incognito on there and watch something that's 18 or above. You have to sign back into your account.
Right.
So that keeps you kind of accountable a little bit. But you can erase your history. You can pause history for a while. Like there's all these things that I have done that make it where you have no accountability, and that's the biggest issue with lust and
Right.
desiring after the flesh is that when you take away that accountability,
Yeah.
then you have no one to answer to, and that's where it's dangerous.
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
that's
yeah.
where it can tear apart your marriage, and it'll be years down the road that it won't mess with your marriage.
Right.
It'll be little things here and there that it's messing with you.
Yeah.
And then it causes a separation, and then when your wife's, just to be blunt, naked in front of you, and you're watching these videos with perfect bodies. And you're like, well, why isn't she? You know, we never see ourselves.
Yeah.
You know,
I look good.
yeah, I look like that guy. I even brought the pizza in. Put my little mustache on and everything. I brought the pool skimmer on my shoulder, on the other shoulder.
Hey, I got it all down.
I had pizza and a pool skimmer. I was checking
wearing my
everything
Daisy Dukes. I wore the fishnet tank top.
off. My David Dukes.
my David Dukes.
My Davy Dukes.
My Daniel Dukes.
And so it's those little things across from each other that you end up not discussing that ends up being bigger and bigger gaps.
Yeah.
And then later, like your paths start going like this in a V, and all of a sudden you look and you can barely see them anymore. You don't even know who they
Right.
are. You're not close to them anymore, spiritually,
Yeah.
physically, emotionally. You've distanced yourself off because you keep messing up.
Right.
And then you distance yourself off from her. Well, I'm talking about my wife. She sneaks up behind me and you didn't say a word.
I don't want to interrupt. You were on a good rant there.
Yeah. Well, she'll hear it. She'll hear it in a couple weeks.
Like you were saying, it is more accessible. It's crazy acceptable now. And so back in the day, like I was telling you, like my dad didn't have any like stash of like any pornos or anything like that, or but it wasn't as easily accessible back then. Like you had to like
you had to order it,
find it from a friend or be in a shady spot, or steal it from like a magazine rack or something like that.
Hey man, you got tinfoil in your windows. You have some crack and porn?
You know what? I just got a fresh batch.
Come on in,
Fellard. Come on, Fellard.
Where's my Davy Dukes?
You got some Davy Dukes?
I got him
too?
from Venus down the road.
That is amazing. Oh, they feel so much better, and you're just so free.
The breeze, oh my goodness. The breeze up from your knees, oh my.
Feeling good. Davy Dukes.
With my new boots on.
Got my new boot messing. Dangle.
Oh, Russell.
But it was so much harder to get it back there, and you had to like hide it and all that. So
You had a
coming
big
up with
lump on your bed, on your mattress where you had all your magazines.
clever spots. I don't know. Punch a hole in the wall, stucco, and
I'll
everything.
put it under my parents' bed. They'll never check there.
Which would probably be a good idea.
Underneath my dad's side.
That's Dad.
When they flip
That
the
ain't mine.
when they flip the mattress, what are they gonna think?
Mom, would I really go through the trouble of doing that?
That looks too hardcore for
That's
me.
my dad.
Dad, that looks more your speed.
That's more your style, anyways. I ain't into all that. I don't like Asian women. Or men.
Everyone knows that.
Everybody knows that about me. Crazy 9-year-old.
That would be like an ingenious spot, though.
Or just on your mom's. Like, Dad, do you believe? Oh, I don't even know what to think about you right now.
Dad would be
Mom.
like,
no, please.
"Oh, really?
No hugs. Please don't hug me. I'm fine.
Can you hand me my coat over there, please? It's right there. Yeah. Can you hand me my coat, please?
Please, thank you. Please and thank you.
It's literally right there on your way out. No, can you hand that to me?
I don't want it.
You know what? I'm just gonna sit here for a minute.
Yeah.
I don't feel like getting up.
I don't feel like.
I'm just gonna sit here.
gonna lay here on my stomach.
I'm gonna take a nap.
On
See
the
you guys
floor.
later.
If you'll go to town, bring me something back.
Oh, I dropped my phone.
Bring me a Sprite back, please.
I'm gonna just go ahead and crawl in my room while I'm down here.
Army crawl.
Oh, my back.
I'm trying out for the Army.
Every excuse in the book.
But
Hopefully my kid can't hear all the things I just said, and he's gonna use them.
notes.
I don't know what he's talking about, but he's hiding it.
I'm gonna put it on Mama
I'm
J's
gonna put my
side of
Nerf
the
guns. I
bed
don't
or
want
whatever.
nobody to touch.
I'm gonna put my Nerf guns on the dad's side of the bed.
He's so innocent. I'm glad it's lasting as long as it is.
Yeah. It's a real problem for people or men nowadays, either men or like young adult men or teenagers, to where they've watched so much and they've got such a distorted view that there's this like wave of young guys like in their early 20s and even, you know, younger than that they can't get like erections or anything now without the help of Viagra.
Really?
Or anything. Yeah, because they've watched so much and seen so much that now because now seeing like the real thing, and they've got such a distorted view of what the reality of a sexual relationship and everything is, and what a sexual encounter should be like, that now like a regular or, you know, just regular sex or whatever doesn't do it for them. So now they have to get help, and in some cases it's like it's not even to fully like get them there, it's just to get them halfway there.
Really?
So, yeah, it's I don't know the numbers. I'm not gonna say I know all the numbers or quote any statistics, but I know that it definitely is like a problem, or has become a problem here more in the like recent years because of that.
I see on Twitter all the time. Which, by the way, to interact with the podcast on Twitter, I'm on Twitter. You can follow me at Stephen Tillman. Use the hashtag #TheBeardedCactus, and I see girls on there. And I thought it was a man thing, didn't know it was so. But I've seen a lot of women on there say, and they would say publicly that they have porn addiction. And I'm like, you got some stones, girl. First of all, there's going to be a certain type of men that's going to try to eat that up and talk to you.
Yeah.
But and it irritates me because I see grown women, beautiful women, that are dressing, showing their bodies off, and talking how they love Jesus.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that everyone has to have the same level of modesty and all this other stuff, but they wonder why they can't get respect from men because they're dressing like strippers.
Yeah.
I mean,
somebody come get her.
If you say you love God, then you need your outside should reflect it too.
Right.
At least a little bit.
Yeah.
Stop showing your stomach.
Yeah.
Stop having your booty hanging out of your shorts.
Yeah.
That's how the world is.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be in it, not of it.
Well, it's in the way that it happens, because and this is the way that it goes, because it's always a little bit, and then just a little bit more, and that's fine. Just it's okay. They're this short. Well, you can't help it that, you know, that's just the way that your butt is, so you can only wear clothes like that. Girl, get out of here.
Jessie has
get out
for her
of here.
size.
Miss me
her
with
back
that.
end is huge.
I ain't got time for all
And she
that.
gained a little weight and it got even bigger. I'm like, keep on eating, girl. But she
You
wore
want some oats?
Yeah, right. Oats and whole milk.
Oats and whole milk. Here we go.
But she still she makes sure. Now it's hard to not clean, but she don't wear shorts that are not modest. If they come up past mid thigh, she won't get them.
Yeah.
You have to shop around.
Yeah.
But you don't have to dress like everybody else just because everyone else has it, or it's hard to find the right stuff.
Yep.
And she, you know, and I understand women with bigger boobs, it's hard to cover up that cleavage, but they make undershirts to come right there to cover up. There's no excuse for it.
Right.
I mean, it exists.
It's tougher. I agree. I don't know the problem because I don't have those.
If I don't watch it, I will.
Bristices, you know.
Tristan told me I had man boobs the other day. I almost punched a kid.
I would have just punched him on
I said,
principle.
Boy, I've been working out. They've been getting better. Shut up. They haven't informed. They're going to get bigger.
I would have knocked him out, woke him up, knocked him out again.
Well, to hit a kid that skinny, you'll break him.
Don't matter.
Well,
that's a life lesson.
Tell that to CPS.
That's a life. I'll
get the life lesson. Life in prison.
It's become more accessible, and it's not even the fact that it's like full blown pornography.
Yeah.
You know, it has nothing to do with like, oh, they're all naked and everything. Now it's just more skin. Just less clothing, still clothing technically, but more skin.
String counts.
Yeah. It's like, oh, okay. And it's even to the point to where it's just like, okay, they could be wearing something, but it's see-through, but they let that slide because they got something on covering it.
I saw somebody the other day that had a bra, and it was a professional person.
Yeah.
And it caught me by surprise because I looked at her, and she was younger, she was pretty, and she had a shirt on, and I noticed there was 2 different colors from here to here. And I'm like, I double checked, and I'm like, that is see-through. And you could see all of her stomach and her back and everything, and that was her bra.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be a professional. I don't remember what is it she did. She may be an assistant at an agency or something like that. And
assistant to the regional manager.
Assistant to the regional agency. And she was just wearing a see-through thing, and I'm like, how is that acceptable? Which I understand. I'm putting my Christian standards on the world.
Right.
I know it's not going to be the same, but I mean, we've sugarcoated things so much, and allowed things, that I mean, even sometimes church people.
Well, yeah, I mean, it gets to the point to where it's like, oh, okay, you have, just say for instance, you got a new Christian woman, you know, her whole life, whatever, she dressed how she wanted, blah, 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 all that business. So I understand there's a grace period of like, okay, she doesn't understand, and it's not necessarily like, oh, she doesn't know how we dress, but she doesn't understand, you know, God's word on modesty and protecting yourself, and then protecting, you know,
because if you're not raised to see what modesty is, and you're raised the other, you'll never, or you'll never, until someone points it out. Right. It's really hard to change that.
You've got to guide them along. That's what discipleship is for.
Exactly.
That's what discipleship is for. You teach, you train someone or someone. I hate to say train because that just sounds like so like almost cultish. Like we've got to brainwash you.
Conditioning.
Yeah, we got to condition you. But it's more or less like, okay, this is what the Bible says. You know, I'm not the Holy Spirit. I'm not going to convict you or whatever, but I can show you what it says and show you what the truth is. Now, all I would say is you need to pray on that. Do you think that it's a good thing for you to show more of your skin, or is it is it less acceptable for you to do that? I don't know about acceptable. It's just hard to find the words without being weird.
That's why you have another lady talk to her about it.
Yeah. Well, no, definitely
I don't
not
know
me.
what you would call it.
Definitely not a man. I would definitely say don't do that as a man. But it's the job of the women. You know, the
and to be gentle about it too.
Right, the older women. Don't just be like, "Oh, you're a skank. You come in here dressing like a skank.
You look like a hooker."
You definitely don't have to be harsh, but you definitely don't have to sugarcoat or hold back the truth.
Yeah,
you can say the truth in love.
Absolutely,
definitely,
and that's the way we should always say it.
Right. You don't want to be harsh or hateful or anything like that. I think too many people or too many times people are like, oh, well, I don't want to judge. It's like, no.
You're supposed to judge.
It's fine. It's okay to judge.
How do you stay out of sin if you don't judge?
You've got to definitely judge to an extent. I don't think you should just be walking around, whores, going to hell, dead. I'm better than you. You are nobody. Blah, blah, blah. Look at me. That's the wrong kind of judging.
That's the Pharisee attitude.
Yeah. To sit there and say, because we all make judgments, you have to make a judgment. If you go down a dark alley
judgment
or
call.
something like that, like, should I be down here or should I not be? Well, the Bible says don't judge a book by its cover, so maybe that dude with tattoos all over his face and that pipe in his mouth is fine.
Yeah.
How do I know he's not just doing drugs to save other people? Doing drugs for the Lord. Hey. Come on, don't be ridiculous. There's definitely a level of judgment that you have to have, and we should always present the truth, and especially to new Christians, there has to be discipleship, and I think that's definitely where we do fail sometimes as a church, as far as like numbers go, when we get so big that there's not really any discipleship. We just, it's just like hey, how many y'all come up here and then you pray and then you say the Lord's Prayer or whatever that is, and then we're gonna get you saved or whatever. We just assume that everybody in the congregation has got it all together, that they know their Bible, and they know where to look for certain subjects, and they know how to combat different types of temptation, and we just assume that they know that because they're there and they can flip to turn in Philippians. Well, I know where Philippians is, so okay, well then you obviously know everything that there is to know about Philippians. Cool. So I don't have to teach you or train you or bring you up in any sort of way. And so I think we fail at that. And as far as like being immodest, and the same thing goes for guys too, as far as like men, like how do you need to be modest, you know? Do you need to be like walking around all sweaty with your shirt off all the time, you know? I mean,
don't David Hasselhoff it up with the shirt undone, showing the spaghetti,
showing
hamburger meat. There it is, not spaghetti. Some people may have
They
spaghetti.
might some real thick hair.
That's a man chest.
You get that. You get that only by bourbon and whiskey.
And Knight Rider.
And I don't know how the theme song goes.
Something like that.
I don't know. I don't know.
Here's something.
Let's not try and figure it out now. But I think it's definitely the job of the women to disciple the women.
What about men? I feel, not to talk to the women, but on the other side of the coin, I feel that there is a lot of judgment or a lot of controversy that I've heard between Christian brothers, that some will say, oh, this guy has a problem with this, so he can, because it's not something that he does out, like, okay, I'll give a real example. This guy smokes over here.
Okay.
This guy over here has an addiction to porn.
Right.
This guy was told by the pastor, if he wants to be leadership in the church and help be on the board, things like that, you know, a step up from just showing up.
Right.
Okay. People look to you. You're kind of, you know, the next tier up.
Sure.
You keep the pastor accountable, you know, over the finances and everything. Okay. It's a very important role. It's a very, there's guidelines according to the Word of God to be in that position.
Okay.
But this guy who's on the board, he struggles with pornography.
Right.
And is not free of the addiction.
Right.
This guy thinks it's not fair that this guy is on it.
Okay.
What do you think about that? Is smoking different than a hidden addiction?
I think smoking is different. Now, the reason I say that is because I think smoking isn't necessarily an immoral act. It may be unhealthy.
Yeah.
It's not good for your health. You know, it can cause cancer and it could, you know, do damage to you. You know, it's not a good thing for you. It's not going to, you know, I don't think it's going to, there's no healthy benefit for it, you know, whereas a porn addiction, that can definitely, that's going to hurt, that can hurt you physically, you know, but it can also hurt you spiritually as well.
And mentally and emotionally.
Right. And that's definitely something specifically that is definitely like talked about, you know, because it has so much spiritual damage that it can cause, you know. I think it can cause you to have lust that like, oh, I've never thought about that before, you know. And it can
run into a lot of more issues down the road.
It can definitely take you into some darker places that you know, once you see, you can't unsee it and be like, you know, God's not going to magically be like, I'm going to take all those things that you saw and you're never going to see them again, you know, because the devil still remembers and isn't just going to pop up in your head every once in a while and you're going to be like, you know, you're going to have to shake it, you know, like, oh my God.
No.
Woo, woo.
Maybe it's happening. Get my pill.
I hate the circus.
Cold ice cream.
I never want to be there again. So I would never say to somebody just because like I smoke and then I saw someone that was in a leadership position that struggled with like just say like a pornography addiction or whatever. I would never put what I'm struggling with on that same level. I wouldn't say that they needed to be in that position. Yeah. I would definitely say like, look, if you are in this position, I understand that temptation happens every once in a while or whatever, but if you're not actively, you know, seeking to try and get this out of your life and you're not, you know, trying to do something about it, but you're just using the crutch of being like, oh, well, you know, we're all sinners and this is just my struggle. Your struggle is smoking and mine is this. Like, well, that's not the same.
What if the smoker won't try to quit but the guy addicted to pornography is actively
Well,
seeking help.
then that's a different situation because he's not trying to stay in that sinful
because
state.
he is actively trying to correct it.
Right. So
this
so
is true
that's-
story stuff.
Right. So that's different because you have two different people, and this guy's like, oh, I'm trying not to,
And he's open
I'm-
about it, too.
right? And he's like, I'm actively trying to get away from it. I definitely take the measures that need to be taken to prevent myself from doing that. Is it 100% foolproof? Not all the time. Sometimes I let something slip, just because I'm weak at points. And at those points, I'm selfish because in those times, I know that if I don't do this, then I'm going to fall into this.
Yeah.
Because I don't think we accidentally sin, It's definitely something
It's always a
willful.
choice. Yeah.
It's definitely willful, and you have control 100% of the time, and you can either say, I'm either going to not do this, or you say, I'm going to definitely do, I know if I go this way, or if I stay in this spot for too long, then I'm going to go back to this. Even if it's just for a second or even if it's just this one time, I'm going to go back to this. And that's where we have to say, okay, I can't. And that's why it says, in Proverbs, not to even look down her road. Don't even look that way, because as soon as you look, then you're already setting yourself up for failure. You're already setting yourself up to try and justify something, to be like, oh, well, I looked, and then once I looked, I couldn't turn away,
I heard this youth pastor say this, and it kind of like it has stuck with me, and that was a couple of years ago, I think at a youth camp or something. He said when he looks, he loves his wife. First of all, he lets his wife have full access to his phone, emails, everything. He says it keeps him accountable. Like he needs that level of accountability, which if that's what you need, I think we're guilty of not admitting what we really need, what we need help in, or we're afraid to talk to them. And if you're listening and you have this issue, it might blow up when you talk to them about it. Yeah. But I would rather it be a blow up. Yeah. and because if not, it's just pressure and festering. Yeah. If you blow up, tops off, now it can be cleaned out and healed. Right. It may be a scar. Yeah. But it'll be healed. What he said was when he looks, you can't control the first look. Right. You see something in the corner of the eye, you look. Right. He said, but then I bounce. Right. All right. What's over here? Yeah. Hey, there's a truck. You know something.
Yeah, I know what's going to be waiting for me over there.
And that's one of the hardest habits to get into.
I didn't sin because I didn't lust, because I know what's there now. I know where the temptation is. Yep. I know that, okay, it's over in this area. I'm not going to look at it, or whatever. I'm going to you know what? I got to go to the next aisle over and get bread anyways. So that's where I'm going to go. I don't need any produce.
The bouncing and now recognizing where the temptation is, or where you don't need to look, is so powerful in so many areas of our life. Because once we recognize what the devil's trying to do, now we know what to avoid. Yeah,
and that's just pornography aside. Pornography aside, or anything like that, that's a principle I think that we could take with us in everything. Like you said, the first look, nothing bad.
All right, that's on me. Okay.
It was because it's like, okay, I know, you've got to be aware of your surroundings. Yeah. You can't just walk around with blinders on and tunnel vision. Like the Pharisees did. They had things on the side of their face, but I can't see anything bad, and that makes me so much holier than you. Yeah. It's just like you walk into a store. It's just like if you're when you're trained to be like vigilant of your surroundings, that way you know where any danger might be. It's the same thing. You're not scoping out for girls, but like I know that there's that team, those young girls over there. I see that they're wearing.
You're dressed inappropriate, ma'am.
You over there, cover thyself.
I'm not lusting after you. I'm gonna go this way.
Ha 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 ha.
Not today, Satan.
Not today, Satan. I've got my Davy Dukes on.
They're like, did he just call me Satan?
That's right, I did.
That's right.
I'm offended.
Go to your cry box,
But
idiot.
being proactive about, knowing where you're weak, and that's admitting that you are weak in a certain area, no matter what it is, and saying, okay, I need to be proactive about becoming stronger to fight that temptation, whatever it is, and to be able to be aware of your surroundings and know what tempts you and what temptations you're easily what you easily fall
Being
into.
self-aware is paramount.
Definitely.
You have to be able, and to someone who doesn't like to submit or is very prideful, this will aggravate you and will be one of the hardest things. But to become strong, you have to first submit that to someone else so that they can hold you accountable.
Yeah.
You have to, whether it's another brother in Christ,
right,
or whether it's your wife or your husband or whatever, you have to be able to submit to them to have that open conversation, because if you don't, you'll end up falling to temptation over and over again that will lead to worse things.
Right.
It will.
I think like what you were saying is that it's a pride issue.
Yeah.
It's a pride issue because
I got it. I'm fine.
Yeah.
I can handle this.
We show up and we dress nice and, hey man, how you doing? I'm good. I'm all
Praise
right.
the Lord.
I'm too blessed to be stressed.
That's right.
We have that mentality. If we were to just pull everything back, just take away all the covers, all the blinds, and we see each other for who we really see each other, how God sees us, sees the heart of us, and knows, look, this is what I'm struggling with, whatever it is, whether it's a sexual thing, whether it's just like, you have such hate towards somebody that, that you do wish, death on them, just anything. And if we could see the heart like Jesus sees the heart, then, I think we would be so much more prone to be like, you know what?
I'm struggling.
I need some help, because you can see everything. Everything's pulled back.
And usually when you do that and you confide in somebody like that, then they will end up, I might need some help too.
Dude,
I think I have some issues too.
Yeah.
And then you end up building a brotherhood, sisterhood, a bonding between believers that's the devil tries to play the shame game, because he's so scared that if we get together, he knows how powerful we are together.
Right.
He knows how, there's a reason the Bible says to lay hands on each other and pray, because it's powerful when we get unified.
Yep.
That is what the devil is scared of. When we get in the same mind, one mind, one accord, same track of thought. I messed up, you messed up, we have issues. Let's battle this together. Let's pray for each other. And that's how we can overcome the issues that we have and be victorious.
Yep.
I get so mad at myself when I was talking about edging. And I will sit there and I will just like, God, I'll say it over and over again. God, I'm so sorry. God, I'm so sorry. It took a huge getting rid of my pride. And it was so hard the first time I ever talked to my wife about this issue.
Yeah. Oh, I can imagine. I can definitely imagine.
I'm supposed to be, at this time, I was the worship leader. I don't know if I was a youth pastor yet, but I've cried to her several times, because I want her to know that that avenue between us is always open.
Right.
So if I mess up, I need to talk to her.
Yeah.
And I'll also is she in here?
No. She gone.
Okay, good.
She's
just checking. I saw her a second ago peek over the thing. And sometimes I'm like, baby, listen, I am a man.
Mm-hmm.
I know I want it a lot. I want sex a lot.
Yeah.
3 times a day will work.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Roughly, give or take.
On the hour.
Give or
every
take.
hour.
But I'm like, listen, sometimes I do this edging, or, when I was really struggling with porn. Yeah. But to me, if I'm edging, getting really close, it might as well be.
Yeah.
I still feel like I'm cheating.
There's something, a woman doesn't have to be completely undressed for you to lust after her, or for you to get excited. We're so crazy. We'll check out a woman in baggy sweat clothes and be like,
or in what's the hospital? Scrubs. I don't know why. I find scrubs attractive.
It's weird.
I'm gonna buy my wife a pair. I'm telling you.
I think I was telling Kelly that the other day. I was just like, I don't know what it is about scrubs. It's weird. I was like, I think
It's my maternal instinct of being cared for.
I'm so broken. Please help me.
Help me, stitch me up, girl.
No, I think what it is, I think scrubs now have changed from like scrubs like 20, 15 years ago or however long.
In the hot nurse outfits?
You went back and got your degree. Good for you.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe you thought that was so funny. It's funny they brought the same one back.
Yeah, that is.
That was an office reference for those who don't know.
Those of you who know. All right, that's all that needs to be said about that. I think scrubs now are more form fitting.
Yeah.
And I think
Or women are getting thicker.
I think it could. I think there's a little bit of a play, probably on both sides of that.
Now they don't look like MC Hammer pants.
Oh.
But I told my wife, I said, listen, I think sometimes when I was telling her I messed up, I said, listen, I'm not playing a game when I say I need attention.
Yeah.
Because a person who's starving will find food.
Yeah. Hungry bear is gonna eat.
Yeah. And so I'm trying to explain it to her. And I
Yeah.
said, and one night when I got real serious with her and was telling her, and then I started crying about it because I said, I didn't watch porn, but I got close.
Yeah.
That was my way of telling her about edging.
Right.
I don't know if she knows that. She will now.
She's gonna know now.
But I wanted to, because it's hard to tell your wife.
It's hard for us to open up about what we struggle with to women, to someone that is supposed to look at us as like the rock,
Especially
know,
the one
head of
person
the
that it can
household.
hurt the most.
Right. And
Something else being sexual
Right.
besides her.
Right, because it's supposed, that's supposed to be only reserved for her.
And I don't ever
and
want to
no
hurt
one
her
else.
feelings or feel like that I'm looking somewhere else because I'm not. I
Right.
love my wife. I tell her
yeah.
every single day I appreciate her and care for her,
Right.
how much I respect her and I admire her. And
Dang, bro, making me.
I do. Like,
Making me
listen,
feel
I may have
bad.
said this before, but it's seriously like when she cooks or even when she brings it home,
Yeah.
while we're in the middle of eating and I don't make sure I do it in front of Tristan, but he's usually eating with us.
Yeah.
I tell her thank you for the food.
Yeah.
Because I'm appreciative that what she does.
Yeah.
And I make sure that she knows every day that I appreciate her.
Right.
And it's not a place of trying to get something.
No.
Like sexual stuff. You know what I mean?
No, I got
Hey
you.
girl, I appreciate you. Want to go to the bedroom?
Yeah.
It's not like that.
Well, we both have cups, and for us, we're more visual, and for guys, I think it's easier for us to just view sex as sex. Like,
Yeah.
okay, there's nothing attached to it. I don't need any kind of emotional connection.
She needs
I don't need
to
anything.
relax,
Right.
and then she gets in the mood. When I work out, I get in the mood. Like women are that way. They need
That's
to be
why I'm
relaxed.
not working out with you anymore.
No,
Freaking-
I don't go to the gym. All right, let's just clarify.
I don't want you to be my spotter. How about that? Go ahead, lift. No, thank you. No, thank you. I'm gonna stay over here.
need help?
On my side of the gym. You work out over there. How about you do that? You got some stuff you need to work
go,
out on anyway.
Go by yourself.
Go ahead.
Go take a cold shower.
I'm gonna go run. I'm gonna go run somewhere.
No, like when I work out, I'm like, oh, I feel like a man. You know what I mean? When I
Yeah.
get done working out, I'm lifting hard weights. I'm
Yeah.
like, hey girl, what are you doing at work? See my muscles? I'm taking pictures.
Can you believe I'm so swole?
Yeah, girl.
Can you believe you get to come home to this tonight?
Because I'll text her and be like, hey,
I'm so jacked.
I'm in the mood tonight. And she'll text me back now. She's like, you just got done working out, didn't you?
That's right. I got some creatine.
Maybe.
Might be juicing up a little. I don't know.
But
Got these forearms.
it's just weird. It's funny to me how women need to relax, like a neck massage, or she tries to talk me into foot massage, but I won't do it because her feet stink. But I'm just kidding. She's
under
even
control, Jesse. They got stuff for that now.
She's even went and washed them before, so I do.
Got some freaking Arm and Hammer.
But like they need
foot powder.
They need to relax. They need to chill out. And I'm like,
It's a more of emotional thing too.
yeah. And I
Yeah.
you give me a hug. I'm like, hey, what's up, girl?
That's right. It's about to go down.
And it's so funny. It's
Go
like
away.
it's like
We're
God
going to-
created it, so we had to talk to him. You know what I mean? Like we
Yeah.
could get like that, but we
Yeah.
have to take the time to talk to him. And
It's
get
like,
him.
listen, there's you got two things that need to be met here. You know, yeah, you've got a physical need. Well, I get it, but she's also got an emotional need.
Yeah.
And she's not going to care too
That is
much
directly
that
attached.
Yeah. It's not good. She's not going to care about that physical need, even for herself, if that emotional need isn't met.
And if their emotions
You know?
or head is not in the game, the game ain't being played.
Game ain't being played. Change the channel. Game's
I
off.
can shut off my emotions and all my head stuff, and
I don't even care. I'll be under.
I ain't gotta be awake.
Under the knife in a coma. 8-month coma.
I'm ready.
How many times did it happen while I was in my coma? Just tell me.
7.
Yeah, I still got it.
Still got whatever.
Even in a coma.
Even unconscious.
Shoot.
But that's, I mean, it's a
communication.
conversation that needs to happen.
Communication, yeah. Communication on both sides.
Because I think, especially after being married a while, we get so used to who each other are
Yeah.
that we don't think we still have to talk about anything anymore.
Right.
And we do.
Right.
And because if who you were 10 years ago,
Yeah.
15 years ago, 20 years, you're different now.
Yeah.
5 years ago,
Stuff's
you're
gonna
different
change.
now.
I mean, you're going to be the same person, but I mean, it's just you're going to change. And I mean, things about you. I mean, you might get hard opinions on something that you wouldn't necessarily have even cared about, 5 years ago.
And if you're married and you're like, say you're a man like we are, and you're struggling with pornography, and you're going to have the hard conversations with her
Yeah.
or with somebody else. I mean,
Even with yourself. I
Yeah,
think it's
that's first, yeah.
just like with any other addiction, You've got to be able to admit that yourself like this is a problem, and even if it's even if it's not like an addiction per se, but it's just you're not supposed to be doing it anyways.
Yeah.
Sexual immorality.
Yeah.
It's not there, shouldn't be there, whatever. So even admitting to that point, like, that's wrong.
Yeah.
The lust that I feel is wrong, even though I'm not doing it every single day or, however many times to classify it as an addiction or whatever.
yeah.
To be able to say that you do have a problem, and that is a problem. So it's definitely something that you need to repent of.
If it's not,
to turn away from.
If it's not now, it will be.
Right.
Because that I don't know why. I guess because it's sexual immorality.
It's like you're substituting it,
It's like it sinks its hooks in so deep.
Yeah.
And you'll turn around. It's like drugs. You turn around and you don't realize you've been in so deep, and how it's been making your relationship suffer.
Right.
With
Because
your spouse.
those thoughts that you have, those thoughts need to be for your wife,
Yeah.
And even if you're not married and you're thinking that about someone else, well, that girl, she doesn't belong to you.
Everything will not ever measure up with your wife ever
Right,
again.
yeah.
Because pornography is meant to look perfect.
Yeah.
Why
And-
aren't you walking in and all of a sudden you're naked?
Hey,
that's what happens on the porno.
That's what happens every single time.
Yeah,
without fail.
That's in the script,
You're
dummy.
supposed to be so into
Here,
me.
I'll give you a script.
Like you can't wait. Yeah, let me write a script up here. Sex. That's
This is
all
what
it
you do
says.
when I walk in from work after I shower.
Gotta shower. Closing thoughts are going to be: we as men, we have more of a physical need that needs to be met. Now, yeah, truthfully, we can just turn that off, but that's not as far as like from a Christian viewpoint, Christian worldview, that's not how you need to operate. Women, they have more of an emotional need. Now, they have physical needs too. Some of them just as much as we do. All right, so that's on the table for sure. It's not like they don't want sex at all either. They do, but they want it with somebody that they care about and that they know that cares about them, and that after the sex is over, the conversation's not going to be over.
And it may be too if they're not wanting sex.
Right.
It may be that you're not being emotionally available like they need or want. That's why you need to have those honest conversations to figure out what to do. Because if you don't go digging up stuff, you're not going to find any treasure.
It's like that love languages thing,
Yeah.
If their love tank is empty, I mean, why would they want to give something up to you that means so much, that is so intimate, that is so personal, that, you know, I mean, you're literally both naked before each other.
Yeah.
You're bare before each other, emotionally and physically and all of that. Spiritually, it's all there. But if their love tank is completely empty and you're the only one that can fill it, that needs to be filling it to be able to enjoy sex the way that it needs to be enjoyed. I mean, if you're not putting in the effort, why are you mad when it's not there for you, you know?
And what effort is let me explain it to you, and I'll try to speak as slowly as I can.
Yes.
So love languages. Everyone has a specific love language that they pick up on, that they respond to, that they take in to fill their cup
it
up.
Speaks love to you.
It's not what you think it is,
right?
And you don't pour out what you are needing onto someone else, because it doesn't compute.
Exactly.
It has to be what they see. I have a couple of friends. They're married. It's kind of reversed. He's clingy and she's not. She needs her space or whatever, and they're both trying to fill the other one's cup up with what they both want.
And
it doesn't feel. They're just. It's
like
self.
You're just giving me what you want, but I don't want that. I don't need that.
And then it becomes a selfishness.
Yeah.
Even though you're trying to, you think you're doing it for them, but it's really selfish.
Yeah. It's like, I did this thinking of you. It's like, yeah, you did it thinking of me, but that's only going to go so far.
To get stuff for you.
Yeah, because this means so much more to me if you were to do this.
Yeah.
You know?
So make sure that honest conversation, make sure that you're talking to them about what they want, how they feel.
Yep.
Guys, you got to know how they feel.
It's all in the fart. It's all in the.
It's
all in the heart.
It's all in the fart.
Be a man. Put your Davy Dukes on. Get out there. Don't talk about it. Be about it. All right. I think another thing that I want to say real quick is, you don't go and fight a war by yourself. You bring an army. So if you have this temptation, sexual temptation, whatever, you put X in there, whatever X is for you. You know, we're specifically talking about, you know, sexual immorality right here. Yeah. If you got the 3 X's of abomination, X factor, extra. Exactly.
If you got a lot of X's, stop getting married.
If you're trying, maybe you're the problem.
If you have 3 X's, maybe you might be the problem.
There seems to be one constant there, and it's you. You know, you're not going to go fight a battle by yourself, and it's even more important when you can't see your enemy, but you're always getting caught up in the traps and in the snares, and you're always losing the battle. Mm-hmm. Why are you losing the battle? Because you're trying to fight it by yourself. Now, there's a reason why we're told to, you know, help each other out with our burdens. You know, give me your burdens. You know, and I believe that 100%. Too many times, I think we try and view ourselves as like, I'm a man. I don't need to talk about anything.
Yeah.
I don't need to share what's going on with me. But I mean, it really is just a lie.
And usually that ends up helping out.
Yeah.
The stuff we're trying to tell ourselves we don't need to do is exactly what we need to do to solve the issue.
Yeah, exactly.
Not talking about something has never solved anything.
It really hasn't. It really hasn't. And I know I'm the world's worst about that, because I'm like, I don't need to talk about this. I can figure this out on my own, you know. Why do I need to tell somebody? I just really need to report to God, right? So I'll just tell him.
He's the ultimate man.
Yeah, he's the ultimate man. He did it. He carried a cross. What have you carried? Blah, 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 you know. But that's not what the Bible tells us.
Yeah.
That's not what the Bible tells us. We're supposed to share the load with each other. We're supposed to, talk to each other and let each other know, look, this is my burden right now.
Yeah.
And I can't carry it alone. This is what I'm struggling with. And so when we do that, it's a lot easier for 2 people to carry a cross than it is for 1 person.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I got to say on that.
So have conversations with someone. If you're really struggling, it's okay, because we all are in some way. You're not the only person. Don't let the
true.
devil trick you and separate you from the herd and make you think that you're just by yourself out there floating.
Yeah.
And you can't talk to anybody because you don't want people to think bad of you.
It's not like you're the only one that has ever struggled with any certain specific sin.
Let me ask you this.
I'm the only one in history that's ever thought this way or whatever. No, it's not true.
Would you rather talk to someone, rip the Band-Aid off, solve the issue, and be free of it, or not say anything and live the rest of your life in shame and misery? It seems like a no-brainer when you phrase it that way, right?
Yep.
No one wants to live in shame and always feel like somebody's going to find you out.
Yeah.
That's a miserable way to live. I lived
is.
that way.
Yeah.
That sucks.
It's like you're always looking over your shoulder.
True freedom is when
What's going to happen if they find this out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's always a constant
Stressful.
You feel like you have to lie to everybody. You feel like you can't be yourself or nobody would even understand when that's a lie.
Yep.
Like, we're all in this together. Talk to somebody.
Yeah.
Talk to the people that are important to you, that you know you can trust. Do not talk to someone that you cannot trust and that will tell everybody else your business.
A blabbermouth.
Yes.
If you really need to talk to someone, Steven's number is 555-33-55555.
No, but seriously, you can use the Bearded Cactus Podcast at gmail.com, and you can seriously shoot us an email and say, listen, I'm struggling with this, and we'll email you back, pray with you, whatever we need to do.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Definitely.
Struggling is a part of the process.
Hey, we got to be cleansed through fire, purified through fire, you know? Same way they do like jewelry and everything, gold and all that. Jewelry. You want them diamond rings?
Get them impurities out.
You want that bling bling? You want them Dexy Dukes? Them Dexy Dukes are flushing?
Dexy Dukes?
Them David Dukes. You want them Davy Dukes flossing? Burn them. That's the only way. That's the only way.
Well, thanks for joining us today. Don't forget to check out thebeardedcactus.com.
That's right. .com.
You can find all of our episodes there. Don't forget to click the like button. Rate us on every podcast platform you listen on. Click the like button on YouTube. Share our video. Go find us on Facebook. Like our page on there.
That's right.
And we'll see you next week.
Later.